Sunday Q&A. And for those of you who are new to the channel, I'm doing a Q&A Sunday every single Sunday. Specific standards. So if you're able to join me live, then I'll be able to answer any question you guys have regarding wholesaling houses. Today, I'm going to try to answer questions where I've been getting comments and a lot of email about is, Khang, when we virtually wholesale, how do we get boots? How do we find boots on the ground, right? So people to help pretty much to facilitate the showing between the buyer and the seller so they don't interact and talk about prices. So you guys, let's get that question answered today. So here is the new rules to this game. As I call out your name, you gotta smash the thumbs up. So here goes. So when I call your name, you better smash that thumbs up for me. Kildus. Yo, Kildus, happy Sunday. Joe Dirt, happy Sunday. Joe Ho, happy Sunday, you guys. As you enter the live stream, I'll shout out your name and you better smash that thumbs up. Marisa, happy Sunday. I'm gonna start calling everybody here. Jacqueline, I'll sit here just calling you guys this name out. Jacqueline, what up? Happy Sunday. Go Gator, happy Sunday. Jay Riviera, happy Sunday. Come on, you guys, smash the thumbs up. I was actually just driving Tita Ma, happy Sunday. As you guys enter the live stream, I'm gonna shout out your name. You comment in, let me know where you're at. I'll shout your name out, and then you gotta smash the thumbs up for every when I shout your name out, okay? Adrian, what up? Happy Sunday. Moreland Capital Group, sounds like a lending company. I could be wrong. What up? Happy Sunday. I can't pronounce your first name. Last name is Lane. Mahogany Lane. I don't know. I'm sorry if I chop your name, you guys. I can't pronounce your first name. Last name is Survivor. What up? Happy Sunday. Welcome to the channel, the family. Shama Dolan. Happy Sunday. Alabama, perfect. Mark Light, what up? Hello from sunny San Antonio. Man, it's freaking hot over here too, man. So, anyways, you guys, I was driving and I saw this car show. Just dropped the wife off. She's getting ready. She's taking a shower, getting ready. So we're gonna head out pretty soon. But after this, I'll probably stop by and check out the car show. It doesn't seem like there's super car there. Just like old-fashioned car, and I'm not into the old-fashioned looking kind of car. Marisa, Texas. Sarah K, what up? Happy Sunday. You guys, today's Sunday Q&A. It's your day. Any question you having regarding wholesaling, drop it in the comment and let's get your question answered. Now, you know, when I first started to, you know, I'm very conservative. I'm very shy of asking questions and things like that. But you got to remember this. There is no stupid question, all right? You'd rather be stupid for a few minutes than for the rest of your life. Because you will never know the answer to your question if you don't ask. There's no stupid question. Trust me, when I first started, I thought all my question was stupid. Because it's like, Khang, it's probably common sense. People probably know it. But you know what? You'll be surprised. And maybe your question will be somebody else's question. My biggest question is determining the real ARV. Lane, so determining ARV, the best way to do it is you have to have access to the MLS, or you connect with an agent. All right, you connect with that agent, and that agent can pull comparable for you. That is the best way. But if you don't, then you know you can check out Zillow, Redfin, Trulia, iComps. Those are some of the sites that I use. But the best way is to to get access to the MLS one way or another. All right. Hopefully it doesn't overheat. Oh man. Okay, I better roll this window down as well. I'm really loud, and I'm at the parking lot here. Marisa, question: what % do I take when the house is already fixed up? So Marisa, so when the house is all in perfect condition, so let's just say the house is in perfect condition, all you need to do is take off 30%, because 30% is what most investor wants. All right, it could be 20%, it could be 25%, depending on your buyer, but all you do is take off that percentage, the 30%, and then minus whatever you want to make, and then that will be your offer price within 6 months or a year. Okay, I'm not sure. And so you guys, boots on the ground. So as far as getting pictures, I'm actually having a seller sending me the picture of their property right now. So a lot of times I'll get seller, or if the seller's living there, or maybe they're good with the, maybe they have good relationship with their renter, I'll tell them to see if their renter can shoot us over some pictures. And if you guys are part of my, massive action ticker wholesale to million Facebook family, then on there I share with you a company that charges you, it's almost like Uber, right? They're all around the US and they charge you X amount. It's very cheap. It's like $68, and they'll come out and they'll take interior and exterior picture for you on behalf of your company. And also too is and so now let me ask you guys this. What are some ways that you guys found boot on the ground when you guys are do virtually wholesaling? Anybody on here? Maybe you guys are because I want to hear what's your guys's answer to that. So the question is, what are some ways that you can find boots on the ground if you are virtually wholesaling, where you don't see the seller, you don't see the property, so what are some ways? Let me know. Adrian, when coming up with your offer to the seller, how do you manage in what? Hold on. How do you manage in how much? Do we, as a wholesaler, need to know how much they owe on taxes? Okay, the only reason why we ask, hey, what's the mortgage? Is there a mortgage on the property? Because we need to know if there is enough equity in there to actually do the research. Is there enough equity in there to make a deal happen? Also, too, is our way of negotiating with the seller. If we know that they have a big spread, right, then we can try to negotiate with them. So the only time, so when we ask that kind of question, it's pretty much just for our purpose of negotiating and see if there's a deal. And then when you ask about tax and liens and things like that, it's pretty much all the same. We're just needing to know, what their situation is, and also too is what is the spread, right? What is the spread on it? So we can negotiate with them. And that's pretty much it. And a lot of times, if they don't want to give that numbers, then you just talk about the purchase price instead of the walkaway money, right? So you just talk about the purchase price, and if there's any liens or anything on there that sometimes sellers don't tell you, right? They don't tell you, but it's all gonna come up when the title pulls the report. The title report, everything is gonna show, all the liens, all the debts, whatever any kind of judgment against the property, it's gonna show up, and it's not for you to worry about. Basically what it is that the seller is responsible to take care of all of that, and that's all the it's going to come out of their proceeds. So if they hide from you, saying, hey, there's no liens on the property, and all of a sudden the title pulls it and said, hey, there's a $5,000 on it. Well, the seller is going to be responsible to pay that $5,000 off, and that's going to come out of their proceed. And that's nothing to do with us when we say we offer to pay for all the closing costs. All the closing costs is just a normal standard closing cost that a seller would pay for a property. But that's not including liens or back taxes or anything like that, unless that's negotiated between you and the seller. All right. So don't get overwhelmed. Don't get worried about, oh man, if I tie this property, if there's liens on it that I don't know about, what's going to happen? This is what's going to happen. What's going to happen is the title, the title company or your attorney pull the title report, and they're going to come back to you and they're going to be like, well, you know what? So the seller told you, hey, there's a mortgage of $40,000 on it. That is correct. But they didn't tell you there's back taxes and liens that are being owed on the property. Now, guess what happened? The seller now they are the one that has to pay out of their proceeds at the time of closing. So it's not like they have to pay it up front or before the closing. They just have to, at the time of closing, where they get their check cut to them of how much they're going to walk away. That is just going to subtract. It's going to be subtract and minus from whatever taxes and lien that they owe on the property. And that's not thing that as a wholesaler we're responsible for, and the buyer is not responsible for that. Okay. Hopefully I can hopefully clear that up, you guys. So boot on the ground. Let me hear some of your guys' answer about regarding boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. So as I give you guys a shout out, you guys smash the thumbs. Real Estate Solution. How do you find other wholesaler that have deals under contract to contact, to connect with, even when I know my market? And how do know if it's a good deal to co-wholesale? Well, Real Estate Solution. So there's a couple of different social media sites that you want to reach out, which is, you know, the Wholesaling Houses full-time Facebook group, Bigger Pockets. And another one is the Real Estate Investor or something like that. It's also a Facebook group, over 90,000 member on there. Wholesaling Houses full-time, probably over 70 over member on there. So I'm sure there's someone in your states that's wholesaling where you can connect with them and ask them, hey, you know what, I got some buyer on my buyer list, would like to know if you have any property where I can shoot it out to them. And how do you know if it's a deal or not a deal? Then you have to do you know, basically as a co-wholesaler, they're just going to send you over the information, right? They're just going to send you over the information. You can do the research if you want to, or you can just send it out to your buyer. Right? If your buyer takes it, great. If your buyer doesn't take it, then it's not a deal, right? So you don't have to do that whole work where you go through the research. Oh, it's not a deal. I'm not going to send it to my buyer. All it is just you just send it to your buyer, and the buyer will let you know it's not a deal. I don't want it, man. Or you can go through the whole thing where you want to do the research. Oh, I got this deal coming from this wholesaler. Let me check it out to see if it's a deal. Then you can go ahead and do your own research. I just don't know why you would. You just send it out, right? As a co-wholesale, that's all you do. You just taking one information from one person, pass it along to your buyer, and then your buyer determine if it's a deal or not a deal to them. Okay. Christina, you mentioned you were stacking cash to buy rental. When the market crashes, do you plan on still wholesaling when the market is down? Absolutely. I love wholesaling. Wholesaling is all about getting that quick cash, stacking it up, dumping it into rental, come back, wholesale, stack the cash. Yep, that's what I do. I love wholesaling. Wholesaling is the best. No fix and flip. No. Okay, so let me tell you guys this, okay? My mentor just went and connected with basically he went to a masterminding, and there's a bigger, larger guys that are doing, you know, $500,000 to $1 million. There's also guys that are at the, you know, 50,000, 100,000 per month, etc. Right? There's different kind of groups. I guess different groups, different category, depending how much they were making. Man, but these guys were, I don't know how much they're making a month, but it's probably in that. I don't know exactly, but it's probably in that like 100 or maybe 100,000 a month or 150. I'm not sure, but man, they're busy as heck, and they're flipping houses and they're just busy. And I remember that lifestyle when I was, and man, if they talk to me, I promise you, if they talk to me, it's a done deal. They're gonna stop the fix and flip. They're gonna convert to wholesaling. I was doing that for a while, and the lifestyle is just, you know, when you're doing 1 to 2 projects, when you're doing a couple rehab a year, or maybe 1 or 2 a month or a couple months, it's okay. It's completely okay. You can make good money doing it. But when you're trying to scale up to a couple 100,000 a month, fix and flip, man, you better have like a good, like I have met so many fix and flipper that are like sick and tired of it versus wholesaler. All right, wholesaler has the best lifestyle, and the thing is, if you know how to take down deals, man, you can scale it up so big, so big. I mean, the sky's the limit. You know, so there's our guys that are wholesaling that's doing way more than I am. So is it even possible to wholesale in a downtown market? In any market, man, yes. Tama, when you define the offer price other than the repair cost, when you define the offer price, okay, other than repair cost, what's the use of knowing the mortgage loans in equity value and all these information? Yep, I just share that with you, Tia. It's just so we can negotiate with the seller, so we know if it's a deal, if they owe less, if they owe too much or what, you know, if they owe too much or whatever like that. And we need to know the spread so we can start negotiating from the point of knowing what it is, right? Of knowing what they can walk away with, okay? And knowing how low can we push them to go, okay? I actually had an owner take pictures and also have had contractor go out to the property for free. Great job, man, good. But I'm sure that in return that you probably want to pay the contractor some money for it, you know, because after a couple of times, if they don't get to do your flips, right? They thought they go out there, they get the cost because they were gonna you're gonna buy it and they're gonna be able to fix and flip it, or they get to come in and rehab it for you, and that's where they make their money. And maybe that's they'll do it for you, but I'm sure after a while, you can only do it for so long if you don't pay them. If you pay them, that's great. You know, if you have a contractor, you'd be like, hey, you know what? I got this property on the contract. I send you out there. You know, I'll pay you whatever amount that it's fair, $100, $200, whatever, for you to go out there and give me evaluation. That's good. So boots on the ground, you guys need to know boots on the ground. What is a good tools to find seller phone number? Skip Trace. I heard a lot of Skip Genies, TLO, Instant Checkmate. Mark Light, if I want to call probate, can I only call the one not on do not call list? Yeah. I mean, even if you accidentally call on the do not call list, man, just call and say, oh yeah, you know what? Oh, I apologize. And then you can always say sorry. Where can I find code violation list? To your county. Go down to your county, the courthouse, and that's where you find them. All right, you guys, let's talk about boots on the ground. So how do you guys find boots on the ground? I mean, you know, there is a couple different, you know, there's a couple ways to do it. Maybe you have friends, family member, or something like that lives in that area. Or, you know, connecting with agents, right? Connecting with agents, go ahead and tell them, hey, if they do this, this is what's in it for them. Some agents will go out there and actually take pictures and do the evaluation, giving you the ARV, giving you the breakdown of the as-is ARV, after, you know, I mean, the as-is price, and then the ARV, they'll take picture for you. They do that, all that for you for like $100 and $200. But all you need to do is you need somebody. Pretty much what the biggest thing is, not just taking pictures, but to be there to facilitate and keeping when you're doing a showing, and to keep the buyer and the seller, you know, from especially the buyer, keeping the buyer from talking to the seller about pricing, about the sell price, how much he sold to you for, right? To me, is that reach out and start connecting and start building your little team, right? So like I said, wholesaling houses full-time, bigger pockets, real estate investor, you know, reach out to that local REIA, right? Reach out to those local real estate investor association, and just trying to connect with people, other wholesaler, other investor in that area, and just say, hey, my name is you know, my name is Khang. I'm looking to do some business in the area, and just want to connect to see if we can help each other out. You know, what it is this is what I can do when we find a property up in a contract. Maybe you have somebody where you can send out there to take picture for us, or to facilitate the showing of the property. And then when we close on the deal, you know, we'll pay you X amount out of that deal. And you just want to make sure you ask the other person what they want for that, okay? And if it makes sense for you, man, do it. You know, if they said, hey, you know what, I got somebody, I'll send it out there, but every single time, you know, if we close, I want 1,000 or I want 500, and if you have the spread in there, if you have that spread in your assignment fee to pay them, you know, just just pay them, right? Just pay them. You want someone that you can build relationship with and trust over time. So it's not, so it doesn't come down to, you know, you can't nickel and dime everything, right? So when it comes down to, it's all about building a team, making sure everybody's happy and everybody's making money, right? And then and then build that long relationship. You rather pay someone a little bit more where you can trust, where you can build a long-term relationship with, instead of you know, instead of someone that you are concerned and are worried about constantly all the time. If they're gonna go behind your back, they're gonna, you know, try to do whatever, right? Connect with other real estate agents, right? Connect with other real estate agent. Hey, you know what? So here's what I can do for you. We close on the deal. This is what I can give you. Or maybe if you guys already have some money set aside, then hey, when you go out there, when you facilitate, it's typically only take about, you know, 30 minutes to an hour when my buyer go out there to see the property. So what would you like for your hourly pay, right? Maybe it's $50 plus gas, $75 or $100. I pay people roughly between $75 to $100 per show out there. 75 bucks to $100, depending on how far it is away from the property. Okay. But just connecting, just start putting the word out there so you can start building up your team. All right. Lucas, what up? Happy Sunday. Dean, happy Sunday. So I hope that answered your question, but it's just about reaching out there and just asking the question. All right, just reaching out there and start connecting and start building your team, your foot on the ground team. Let me ask you a question. If you're looking for that, I'm sure that somebody out there that's also exactly on the same boat as you, that are looking for someone as well, right? So maybe you are doing in this area and that person, yeah, you know what, I can connect with you. I can certainly help you out. And here's what I want in return. Ask them what do they want in return. All right. Always ask for what in return, man, because it's just a character, and people just, you know, people like to work with that. David, what up? You guys asked I shout out your name. Smash the thumbs up. And if I answer your question or add any kind of value to you in this video, smash the thumbs up as well. If you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe button. Smash the bell notification. That way when I upload new video, you'll be notified and your phone will blow up. Hey, Khang, greeting from Chicago. I'm 18-year-old and I'm trying to get into wholesaling. Great job for you, buddy. But I'm a little confused on where to find the contract and how they work. Dude, check out my step-by-step to virtually wholesale. And I'm on step 2 tomorrow, you guys. I'm coming out with step 3. And buddy, it's going to answer your question. So anyways, but buddy, good job for you, man. You're 18 and you're exposed to this kind of business. That's awesome. Do you have access to Flip to Freedom comms calculator? No, I don't. I feel like maybe it's help in determining the repair. So you may want to make an accurate offer when negotiating a deal. And you guys, so many of you guys also too is so worried about, you know, getting the exact rehab cost, figuring out the exact ARV, exact rehab cost, etc. And it holds you guys back from tying a deal up in a contract because you're so scared and so worried. And this is what you worry and scared about. Man, what if my ARV is off? What if my rehab is off? What if I can't find a buyer for this property? Like, is the seller going to get mad at me? Do I have to end up buying this property? What is going to happen, right? And so think that. So basically what I'm telling you guys is don't overthink it. Let me see here. Just don't overthink it. Just get a rough estimate, right? And I'll share with you guys in other steps in the virtually wholesale. I'll share with you guys other steps on trying to figure out comparables. Best way is to start calling some contractor and talk to them. Marisa, how do I narrow down co-violation list? They told me it would be too long if I get them all. David, what's our having tricks you? Blah blah blah. Dean, under forms or tools. Raymond, King Kong, happy Sunday. Is there a way I can get your email, Kong? Yeah, Luke, man, I mean, just email wholesales to millions with an S at gmail.com. Wholesale to millions at gmail.com, buddy. Joshua went to my first RIA meeting. Nice. They briefly talks about a signing contract, but mainly focus on fix and flip. Yeah, man. So my wife and I, you know, when we were getting into wholesaling, this is our whole thing: is that sell the headaches to the fix and flipper. sell our headaches away. I mean, your local RIA, I mean, there are days where they're going to talk about wholesaling, they're going to talk about contract, they're going to talk about everything. So you just have to check in with them and just constantly go in there and networking and just network with people, just putting your name out there, getting into the environment, just getting the wheel spinning, right? Just putting things in motion. Don't stop it. Just keep going, putting things in motion. There's leads mainly coming from Anthony Hall. What up? Can you wholesale a property to a property management company? Absolutely, man. If they want to buy it, is it okay to sometime tell the seller that we are a wholesaler? That we plan to find a buyer for them. Okay, man. Go Gator. If that's what you want to do, man, if you want to try it, go ahead and good luck. Because you have to now explain to the seller what wholesaling is. All right, what wholesaling is and all that, and you're going to confuse them and things like that, man. Typically I don't recommend telling them you're a wholesaler, you're tying a property up in contract so you can go find a buyer, blah blah blah. I mean, you can if you want to try it, but you know, we pretty much just tell them, hey, you know what, we're looking to buy the property. We work with a couple other investor as well. You know, we work with a large investment group. And a lot of times what it is we don't end up buying it. One of our partners will end up buying the property. But our goal, you know, what we do is we buy property for cash. And we work with, and we have large investment investor groups that we work with, okay? Beast Mode. So Khang, happy Sunday, buddy. I just shout your name out, so you better smash the thumbs if you haven't already. Man. So Khang, do we just come up with our own repair numbers based off of what sellers say and then put under contract? Do you have to negotiate a lot once buyer walk property? I'm confused. Hold on a second. I'm going to turn on the car just to make sure that the so let me see here. Beast Mode, I'm going to break your question down here, Khang. So do we come up with our own repair number based off of what sellers say and then put on a contract? Yeah. So you ask the seller what's needed, what kind of repair updates or work that's needed to be done to the property, and then they start listing some things out. You know, you want to ask the roof, the window, how's the electrical, the plumbing, how's the siding? Does the siding needs to be replaced? The flooring, the kitchen, the bathroom, does that need to be updated, right? So you just need to have a rough ideas of what needed, okay? Of what needed, and then based on the bedroom, bathroom, and square footage, you just have to do your best judgment to see how much it's going to cost, right? And I'm going to share with you guys as we go along with the wholesaling houses step. I'm going to share with you guys some tips to figure out what the what the rehab is. You know, what the rehab is based on what the square footage and what the house is, okay? And the best way is, you know, start talking to some contractor and just asking them a question. Hey, I'm looking to update the kitchen, granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, blah, this many square footage. What do you think? Right? And then start writing that number down. And you guys got to understand, these are just rough rehab number that is enough to give you guys a rough, good estimate, enough to make the offer to the seller, because a lot of times there's, you know, you won't be able to see everything. Sometimes the seller doesn't tell you everything. Maybe the subfloor is run. Maybe maybe the subfloor is run. Maybe there's some beams, there's some joists, there's some things that needed to be done. But your buyer is going to come out there and your buyer's going to let you know, all right, if that's the case. Do you have to negotiate a lot one buyer walk the property? Typically, you know, to be honest with you, Beast Mode, majority of the time, like I would say 95% of the time when we put the offer out based on, because I've done it for a while and then over time through experience, you will know roughly based on the bedroom, bathroom, the square footage, and based on what the seller say. Hey, you know, it's built in 1900. It has, you know, it hasn't been updated at all. You know, it's gonna need a new window, kitchen, bathroom, all that, and you will have a good idea of what it will be. And when you make that offer, it's gonna be much more exact and much closer than when you first start out, right? But 95% of the time, we don't have to renegotiate. If that answers your questions. Shantae Smith, what up? Jake Compton, you guys asked I shout out your name. Smash the thumbs up, and we're almost done here. I got a few more minutes. Beast mode, it's good to partner up with other wholesalers to get accurate repair estimate. Step number 3, virtual wholesaling. Let's make this money. That's right, buddy. Oh, overheat. Oh, I'm freezing. I froze. Shoot. Uh-oh.